We are the painters of our world. We are creators. We decide what goes.
Our first guest is Jesse Williams, recent graduate of UC Davis, proud California Community College graduate, and a talented artist-musician as well. He's a hyphenate. Welcome, Jesse. Great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I know I just mentioned some of your recent graduation, but I know it wasn't an easy road to get to where you are today. Tell us about your story and some of the unique things you have faced while you were growing up.
All right, well, first things first, I was born and raised in Oakland, California, the Bay Area, and where I grew up wasn't the nicest part of the neighborhood. And we ended up moving back to Sacramento, where I went to high school in Elk Grove. And in high school, I didn't make the best decisions. I often cut class. I didn't do a lot of the homework. Only time I showed up to school was really for the rallies, for the basketball games, and for the high school dances. And it wasn't until I was 17 years old and the teacher was going around the classroom and saying, like, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? And I kind of contemplated that for a little bit, and I was stopped by the counselor's office, and I asked her, like, what do you think I should do? And she asked me, where do you want to go? I said, well, my dream school is Davis, and I want to do music. And she told me, she's like, you're not going to get into Davis. Like, let's be realistic. Like, with the grades you have, you're not getting into Davis. And so as a result, like, I left school. I had a 0.9 GPA, and I didn't think there was any future for me. And I was working 3 jobs, and my mom was super sick, and she called me after she left the doctor's office. And she said, hey, son, like, I don't know what the doctors found, but I'm not quite sure if I got any time left on this earth.
Oh, wow.
But I want to make sure you have, a future, and, you have something to stabilize yourself. And I told her, I really hate school. I really hate school. And she said, well, son, can you at least do it for me? Like, you'll meet some people there. You'll have a good job, money and everything. And I was like, Mom, I don't want to spend your money doing something that I don't want to do. And she said, look into some colleges. My mom, she passed away, and it was really, really rough to deal with. And so knowing that, I was, one of the boys with her last name, I had to carry on, carry the torch. And so it was really hard, but I look back on it, and I'm very thankful that she showed me education. She showed me music, and looking like now I'm like, okay, I have to get this degree. It's no longer for her, it's for myself.
So your mom was the inspiration for you to step onto that campus.
Yeah, she was. She's a big believer that education can really open a lot of doors for you. Whether you're in the classroom or not, you still should choose to educate yourself. So yeah.
So tell me about your experience, your college experience. What happened once you first got there?
I didn't know how to study, so I Googled how to study in the library. And I had a lady come over. She gave me a bunch of highlighters. Her name is Monica Potter, and
You still remember her name?
Yeah, I still remember Monica Potter. And she asked me, she's like, well, where do you want to go after school? I was like, well, I thought this was it. She goes, well, sweetheart, you get an AA, and you have to transfer somewhere. You have to get an associate degree to transfer, so you have to go somewhere. She's like, well, where do you want to go? I'm like, it's gonna sound silly, like, you're not gonna believe me. She was like, no, tell me. And I was like, okay, well, I either want to go to UC Davis, UC Berkeley, or UCLA.
The school that your teacher told you that you would never get into.
Yes. And she said, I believe in you. My first day. She's like, I believe in you. And so just having that person to tell me I believe in you really, like, had me think I could do it. I can really do this. And the first time I got my test back, I got 10 out of 10. I was the only person in class to get an A.
Wow.
And that was
really
cool.
And it wasn't in lunch?
No, it wasn't in lunch. It was actually in U.S. World History. It was actually one of the hardest courses to take at that school. Seeing that I could, apply myself and really do this, I took that into other aspects of my life. So I joined Associated Student Body. I was the student body president, unanimously voted by my peers.
Wow.
I was the first Black student body president. I was the co-president of the BSU, Black Student Union, at our college.
So the school that you were reluctant to attend voted you student body president.
Yeah, which says a lot.
And we're talking about myths today.
Okay.
Now, you already heard from someone in your past that there's no way you're getting into UC Davis.
Yeah.
So basically, it's someone telling you that you're not college material.
Yeah.
So how did you take that, and how do you think other kids take that information when someone says that to them?
Honestly, it hurt because it came from a high school counselor because I said, she's like, what do you want to do? I was like, I want to go to school. She's like, well, not with these grades. And maybe in her mind, she was like, let me help him out so he doesn't get the rejection letters or he doesn't spend all this money wasting time. But looking back on it, I'm like, I'm glad they told me that because it not only sparked a fire in me to say, like, I can do it, I can, and I will, just to prove you wrong, but also, like, it did save me a lot of money. It saved me a lot of money because I went to community college, and maybe, there was times where I was in community college where I was like, maybe Davis isn't for me. Maybe I should go to a bigger school, maybe a school on the East Coast or maybe a smaller school because I saw smaller schools, you get more connected with your professors. And community college was that small school for me. And it prepared me for Davis. So when I did get into Davis, I was like, oh, I could have gotten this a long time ago. So, yeah, 17-year-old Jesse, for sure not getting into UC Davis.
Right.
But 22, yeah, that kid was ready. He was ready. He had the tools. He had the support staff and everything.
From a .9 to a UC Davis grad.
Yeah.
How long?
It took me 4 years. 4 years. I did 2 years at community college, and I transferred and did 2 years at UC Davis. I had my guidance counselor, Monica Potter, at Feather River College, and she put me on this track record. Like, you need to take these classes, these classes, these classes, and maybe a couple of summer classes if you really want to go to Davis. And I took the classes. There was a class that I didn't pass, so I had to retake it. And so I did that, and I was just really dedicated. And, if I can do it, you can do it too.
So you were 17 years old when you made that transition to believe that you could actually do it. What do you say to that? There's somebody watching right now, 17 years old, and being told by family, friends, maybe a guidance counselor,
right,
that they are not college material. What would you say to that person?
I feel like there's no such thing as college material. There's no such thing as college material because, everyone says, oh, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. You'll never be ready. You'll never be ready. You have to be put in a position, once you make that decision for yourself, to tell yourself that this is the class I'm going to take, this is where I'm going to go, this is where I want to go, then you decide your college material. You define yourself. Don't let others define you. And then find out, where you want to be successful at, and find out what you're good at, and then use education to amplify your goals to get you to where you want to go. Use it as a compass.
Now, we're talking about myths, and we talked about the myth of young people being told that, they're not college material, and they're also being told that college ain't worth it.
Right.
I want you to tell me and prove to them that going to a community college is worth it.
It's 100% worth it. You get mentors. You get access to a lot of tools and resources that will make you successful. And you get a degree. And a degree is sexy in this world,
Yes, it is.
You definitely need a degree to advance, amongst the ranks in society. So it's definitely worth it.
Very well stated. And how has it changed your life?
Oh, in tremendous ways. I think it's made me hold myself more accountable. It's given me a lot more confidence and a lot more structure. And like I said before, education definitely amplified me and amplified my goals and dreams. I see myself like I got this degree, so anything is possible. So I climbed Everest, so now I can do anything. And like Everest for me, education was like the hump. I was always like, oh, I'll never be book smart. But now that I got that, I'm like, I can do almost anything.
Jesse, thank you so much for your story, for your patience, and your time.
Thank you.
We are the painters of our world.